Hey, it's Danielle. I wanted to show you today how to do a quick natural face. I know a lot of you and most of the time I don't want to do a full glam look. So I'm going to show you what I do to just, kind of even out my skin tone and have more of a natural look. So I put my hair up. And I do want to say that I did put on my Touch Glorious Primer. What primer does is it evens out the surface of your skin just like you're priming a wall before you paint something. So it's going to help your makeup sit more smoothly on your face rather than sinking down in your pores and showing your lines more. So I did put this all over my face. The trick to primer is that if you put the primer on, you want to let it sit on your face about 5 minutes before you start with the rest of your makeup. Usually what I'll do is I will put this on after I do my moisturizer, and then I'll brush my teeth or do something else for a few minutes before I get to the rest of my makeup. So the first thing I use is my primer. The second thing I do is, the order of this can be different if you like. I always do my concealer first before I do my foundation. Some people do their foundation and then their concealer. I've just always done concealer then foundation. So I'm using this Younique Mineral Touch Skin Perfecting Concealer, and it looks like a tiny tube, but this tube lasts forever. I usually can keep one for about 9 months, and it just takes a little bit to cover things up. So I've got some spots, I've got some age spots I want to cover up, and some little acne to cover up, and I always try to do under my eyes as well, because it helps, because sometimes, when we're tired, we have lines and dark circles under our eyes. And I use one of these beauty blenders. You want to make sure that you wet the beauty blender and then squeeze out the water and then use it to blend in your foundation or your concealer. So I'm going to use this, and I'm just going to kind of tap in my concealer that I've put on my face. The concealer that I use is a shade lighter than the foundation I use. There's a couple of reasons I do this. It helps to cover things. For me, at least, it helps things cover easier. I feel like I get more coverage with a lighter color than with just the same color as my foundation. And you can also use it to highlight. So if you wanted to do a full-blown contour and highlight on your face, that's another tutorial. You can use a shade lighter than your normal foundation. So that is what I do. So my foundation color and the Liquid Touch is Organza, but what I'm going to be using today is the loose powder foundation, and my shade in that is Camlet. And so a lighter shade and concealer to go with those foundations is Scarlet. Scarlet is our lightest foundation, so that is the one that I use. Okay, so now I've covered up everything and just using my beauty blender. The next thing I'm going to use is my powder foundation. So I'm using the Younique Loose Powder Foundation in Camlet. And I'm going to be using, to apply that, my powder concealer brush. It has a big foundation brush on one side and a concealer brush on the other. This is just a great dual action brush, and it helps you to get everything on there evenly. The powder foundation comes in a jar, and in the jar there is like a little screen. So you take your brush and kind of press down on the screen and swirl to get some of that foundation on your brush. Then what you do is, I always start at my forehead and just kind of swirl to apply that powder. You want to make sure that you kind of get up into your hairline so that you don't have that, that mark of demarcation where you have a foundation line. I also go over my eyes. Some people don't go over their eyes if they use shadow, but I'm not going to use eyeshadow today, so I'm just making sure that I have something over my eyes. You also want to make sure that you go into your jawline with your foundation so you don't have that face. So I try to go out towards my ears and then into my jawline. And see, it's covering all those age spots, all my freckles and sunspots. Really nice. Okay, so there we go. Nice even skin, but I look very pale, right? So the next thing I want to do is I need something to brighten up my skin. So there's a couple things you can use. You can use blush. or you can use bronzer, or you can use both. I prefer most days to use a bronzer. And the reason I use a bronzer is because it gives you that color that you might need. But it also, you can use it to do a light contour, which is going to make your face look slimmer and make you have those pretty angles. I am using the Younique Beachfront Bronzer, and the color I'm using is Malibu. But any of the bronzers, I mean, I really haven't had a trouble. I use all of them. There's 3 different shades. I think Malibu is the middle shade. So this is the one I use. It has 2 sides to it, you can see in there. And I just kind of go in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you is what I've learned with bronzer is that you want to do a 3 on your face. So you want to do your forehead, your cheek, down your cheekbone, and then down your jawline. So I do is I take my blush brush and I'm going to start on my forehead, and I'm going to kind of go up in my hairline and kind of blend that in so I can give myself a little bit of color. And then I'm going to gradually come down on my cheekbone. So there's the first part of the 3. Then I'm going to start back here at my ear, and I'm going to come down my jawline. So you want to make sure that you blend it in so you don't look like you have a big line on your jaw, but you can see how it gives your face that color. And you see I only have half my face done, so see, this face looks like it's healthy, this face looks like very pale. So I'm going to do it on the other side. I'm going to go up, and remember to go up into your hairline so you are giving yourself, you're not going to have that white, or at least my scalp is very pale, that white line. So I'm going to go down on my cheekbone, and then I'm going to go back to my ear and down my jawline. Okay, now, so I look like I have a lot of white here, right? What you want to do to also make your face slimmer is you want to do something on your nose. So what I do is I take my blush brush and kind of flatten it out, and then go back in my bronzer, and then I go down the sides of my nose. I think I got a little too much. So I'm just going to go back with my foundation brush and kind of even it out. But you see how that's kind of giving me more of a natural glow, giving me some color, which is what I needed, so I look healthy. So that's what I use the bronzer. Now if I wanted to just use blusher, you can, but a lot of times what I'll do is I will take a little bit of blush and do that on top of my bronzer. So I'm going to take my little, I think this is Serene, you can use whatever color of blush you want, but I do a little bit here, and you just want to go kind of here on top of your cheekbone. And go on top of your cheekbone. Okay? So it gives you a little bit of a more pinky glow on your cheeks, so you look happy and healthy. And there you go. So, natural look, very even, not anything kind of crazy. This is what I use most days when I'm going to work or when I'm going out. Mascara. So I'm going to use my Epic mascara. This is the one-step mascara. So, I want to go down as close to my lash line as I can and kind of wiggle out. Wiggle out. Wiggle out. See? Very easy. Instant lashes, instant glam. Lashes can give you life on a bad day. And most days I just use one coat of mascara because the one coat of this Epic is all it takes to give you wow lashes. And then let's see. Some days I will use my eyeliner, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just come in my lash line on the bottom. and it gives you a little bit of emphasis on your eyes. I'm not going to line my top. Sometimes I line the top line, but most days I don't like to put mascara on my lower lashes, so I just go in my lash line and smudge with a pencil a little bit. The last thing you want to do is lip color. So a lot of people don't want to wear lipstick. Most people are lip balm people, which is great. But sometimes you want a little bit of color. So I like to use this, it's lucrative lip gloss, and the color is Lucid. And it's a very, very pale, like shimmery pink. But not like preschool shimmery. See? It's a very, very subtle nude pink color. It's great by itself, or if you want to top like a different lipstick with it, it's great too. But the lipstick, these lip glosses are not sticky. They don't smell. So they're very, very nice, and they're very long wearing. So that's what that looks like. So this is how I look most days when I do my makeup. If I choose to do my makeup, I do a very, very simple, very light, natural look, and that's what most ladies like. So I hope this video was helpful. If you ever need any help or any tips, just feel free to hit me up. Bye, guys.